I'm probably one of the few Remainers on this beach, if not the only one.
In Britain, a decade of division. Back in 2016, nearly 34 million people answered a deceptively simple question: to leave or remain in the European Union. The answer was to go. The UK's fishing industry, small though once mighty, became a flashpoint in the big Brexit debate, one that is still raging today in coastal towns like Hastings.
Personally, my heart was never a leaver, and it seems to have brought nothing but complications, Brexit, to a lot of people, whether that's your job or import-export or your right to travel and study.
Many fishermen like Roland voted leave to get more control over British waters.
Well, I voted for Brexit, I believe. Most of this beach voted for Brexit. We all wanted to be independent. The big problem was at the time, the fishing industry was actually a big bargaining tool.
Your concerns around the fishing industry, that was the main reason, the way you voted the way you did?
No, I would like to have seen Great Britain great again.
If you could describe Brexit in one word, what would it be?
Failure for a fisherman, definitely. Our paperwork has gone threefold. It's more difficult now exporting fish.
Everyone in the UK has a story to tell about Brexit, where they were, how they felt, and quite frankly, the arguments they had with family and friends. It's an economic issue, it's a political issue, but it's also about identity. It's highly emotional, and it's about the way that Britain sees itself in the world. And it seems in 2026 that those divisions are still very much in place.
The Brexit vote catapulted the UK into years of political turmoil, with 6 prime ministers in just the past decade. Olaf has owned his fish and chip shop for about the same length of time.
New revelations about the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of NBC Today show anchor Savannah Guthrie. According to law enforcement sources briefed on the investigation, a note sent to media outlets in February after Guthrie disappeared said she had died. It came after an earlier note demanding millions of dollars for ransom. Investigators believed both notes were legitimate communications from the person or people responsible for the kidnapping.
The first note, which comes from the same source as the second note, had certain details about the home.
According to law enforcement sources, in the second note, the kidnapper or kidnappers said they did not mean to kill Nancy Guthrie, but that she died shortly after being taken from her home near Tucson, Arizona.
Basically said, you're not going to hear from us again. Our business is done. Sorry it worked out this way.
At the time, the family responded with an emotional video on February 7th. The contents of the second note were known to CNN and a Tucson, Arizona television station's local news department that received both notes.
At the request of the FBI and at the request of the family, kept the contents of the note confidential.
Now, more than 20 weeks since Guthrie was reported missing on February 1st, the Pima County Sheriff's Department says the investigation remains active and ongoing.
Buenos días. En la conferencia de Palacio Nacional este lunes los dio la dueña del mundialmente conocido Pato Merlín.
Mi nombre es Carla, vengo a presentarles a mi familia.
Carla Gómez, de 48 años, fue invitada por la presidenta Claudia Sheinbaum junto con sus 2 hijos, Carlos, de 22 años, y Cristian, de 14. Desde este micrófono presentó a su familia y develó los problemas que enfrenta.
Carlos tiene 22 años. Es un chico que tiene un trastorno de psicosis. Él acaba de salir del hospital psiquiátrico, pero es el niño más hermoso que puede existir.
Carla es madre soltera y vendedora de refrescos en el centro histórico de la Ciudad de México. Durante años ha domesticado patos y Merlín, aseguró, es el patrón de este negocio. La famosa mascota, quien portaba la bufanda otorgada directamente por la FIFA, que lo nombró embajador, permaneció sentada junto a Cristian, mientras su madre explicó los cuidados que recibe Merlín y la singular alimentación que incluye manjares mexicanos. Ahora, el pato Merlín también es entrenado para hacer predicciones sobre quién ganará en el Mundial. Y mexicanos aseguraron sentirse orgullosos de la nueva mascota adoptada por millones para este Mundial.
Pues se me hizo una mascota muy adorable y cómo se ve la lealtad de su patito, bueno, del patito hacia su dueña.
Carla confirmó que los derechos de autor de Merlín fueron registrados este lunes y aseguró que aunque sus días cambiaron de un momento a otro por la fama alcanzada, ellos seguirán trabajando en las calles como hasta ahora lo han hecho, aunque la visibilidad que han tenido en este mundial quedará impresa en la memoria de miles. Valeria León, CNN, Ciudad de México.